Hi, I'm Richard Wilson with King County Developmental Disabilities Division. I manage the School to Work program, and our division is part of King County's Department of Community and Human Services. WISE is putting together some website information designed for families seeking to prepare and enroll their young adults in the King County School to Work program. But much of this information may also benefit anyone who needs support services to seek and/or keep a job, especially if they're in the period of transition from school to adult living. I, along with many people I work with, meet with a lot of families, teachers, professionals, and others involved in transition and employment services every year. The challenge everyone faces is that there's simply a lot of information, a lot that families and their students need to know and do, and it's complex. What I consistently find is that most people don't know the basic landscape, and therefore, they don't know where they're at on the map and the ways to get where they want to go. So the purpose here with the initial videos isn't to provide a lot of detailed information about each aspect of what people need to know and do for successful transition from school to work, but to help viewers understand the big picture and where they can go to learn more. So I've tried to boil down what you can do now to start early in order to have the time you need to be prepared. Broadly, there are two important ingredients to success. One is having expectations, and the other is gaining real work experience. The first, having expectations, is about you, your student, and all the supporters in his or her life expecting that employment will happen. That should be the context you're working from. Then the second is about understanding the related systems and accessing the support needed to gain knowledge and experiences that result in getting that first paying job. Before I move on to more detail, I want to say, view people's success stories as well as testimonials from employers.
In fact, we're looking to add another position after the first of the year.
Many are here on the WISE website. They're very powerful in showing what is happening for many people with disabilities and for employers.
Investment is relatively low, but the return is extremely high.
It's all about a good hire. We spend a lot of
Many of you know this, but it's important if you don't. Families are the creators and families are the drivers. Beyond school, employment and community support services are not an entitlement in Washington, and the ball is really in the family's court to understand the systems, services, and how to access support. In regard to expectations, well, expectations start at home. You're going to want to create a vision of the positive work future for your family member that is built on their interests, talents, and skills, as well as their support needs, and make this a living, breathing plan that overarches and informs all other plans that will be in their life. This series has a video dedicated to the topic of helping build a full life for your family member, and I can't say it better than that video. So I encourage you to watch it. What I will say, beyond creating this vision, is that there is so much you can do at home in helping develop the social awareness, skills, and tasks that are the foundation of a good work ethic. But expectations aren't just for home. Between 2004 and 2010, the state of Washington implemented two major state policy changes. Both set an expectation that all individuals, regardless of their challenge of the disability, would be afforded the opportunity to pursue competitive employment, and that employment support services would be the first use of the state's day program funding. Since that time, in King County, the number of people with developmental disabilities in paid employment has doubled. Over 2/3 of those jobs were participants of the School to Work program. There are many systems and strategies that provide funding for employment support. In getting to understand the basic landscape, here is a chart. The two agencies at the top are with the Washington Department of Social and Health Services. DVR is the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. DDA is the Developmental Disabilities Administration. This series has a video dedicated to giving a brief yet more in-depth explanation of the roles and missions of those agencies. On the bottom, note that contractors, whose expertise is in employment for people with disabilities, provide the supports and services. You'll often hear them referred to as vendors or providers. Nearly 30 employment service agencies operate in King County. Notice that the long-term employment services for people with developmental disabilities flows through the counties, who contract with employment service agencies. DVR also contracts with these agencies. Contact information for those who provide school-to-work employment services is on this website, as well as King County's. Also, you can meet representatives from many of these organizations at our annual Transition Resource Fairs, typically held in March. Please know that the whole funding landscape for employment services is larger than what I just covered. This image covers the most common strategies and their associated funding agencies where applicable. The following download has more comprehensive information about these agencies, as well as how to contact them. So what are these employment services? This is a representation of a typical employment service cycle, from intake, service determination, assessment, developing a job placement, through intensive job training and maintaining employment. Employment services aren't necessarily linear, though. A good job match can happen in different ways and at any time. Also, the amount and type of assessment may vary quite a bit from individual to individual. As a customer of service, you should learn what to expect for each phase and know what your role is. Often, good job matches come from connections or important information that families offer. So I hope this helps provide you with a better big picture of employment services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in King County. The School to Work program fits in that, and it's a big piece of it. So I strongly encourage you to watch the video in this series on School to Work.